Hello, my name is Ace Orange, and this was my Outlast glitchless no save and quit speedrun. I believe the time was just over 59 minutes, which happens to be my personal best. This was recorded on PlayStation 4, and this is kind of like a commentary, because I am posting this on YouTube, but I'm also sending this to the speedrun.com leaderboard to hopefully get it approved and get me on the leaderboards. I am kind of an amateur speedrunner, haven't speedrun, I guess that's the term, a lot of different games. This is the first one I'm actually really confident enough to send it in, or the one that I've actually recorded. But I also wanted to give a little commentary on what I did, like how I stayed, how I stayed vigilant and stuff like that. So yeah, the beginning chapter for administration block is not hard at all. It's just a bunch of running around and dodging people and stuff like that. You probably saw me turn my infrared on in the vent. That's just so that I can navigate around the library without getting caught on things. I think I do eventually, maybe, yeah, I end up tripping up right there and wasting like a millisecond. But other than that,
little pig.
so yeah, this was done. I kept my time on the Frame Perfect app, and I split this by by section. So like, say you were to load into the game, like if you were to load a chapter, that's where I would split it from, because this game doesn't really have like definite like parts like, oh, this is this chapter now. It's, it's kind of like it moves from one thing to the other, but it constantly gives you objectives that you have to follow. So, but sometimes it doesn't. In some chapters, it doesn't give you an objective. So I'm using a lot of normal strategies in a glitchless run. Some strategies I wasn't really familiar with, so I might use my own. I hope to improve on it in the future. There's a lot of jumping in this one. Now there's some points in the game where Miles will like mess up, or I will, because I have no idea. I've never seen this on PC, but I always see it on console. Sometimes Miles will do something called that I named like a stagger run, which is, it won't be a smooth running animation. It'll be like a staggered, like he'll stop every once in a while and then keep going kind of animation, which is really annoying because it's actually screwed me up one time. Towards the end of the game, it managed to screw me up. So, it usually always happens when I'm online or when I'm doing something, like when I'm in a party with friends, speedrunning the game, or when I'm doing like a video or something like that. Anytime that the lag of the game does that. So anybody who is watching here, this next strategy is again another run around like what I just did with Chris. I'm scared of that strategy. You can just run around, because I always tell people why I do this is because enemies, when they knock down doors, they traditionally come into the room a little bit, and that way they give you, if they're not Chris Walker, they give you a little bit of an opening to slip right past them, and I missed that dodge there. But that guy has never caught me before. The only time that guy's ever caught me was because I didn't jump over. Now he's gotten really close before. Like, you can see how close he was to me, like when I did that little door opening thing right there. You can see how close he was to me when I did that that one. And there's the split. So that's when you'd split from administration to the prison, because you're done with the chapter.
I'm sorry, my son. I didn't want to have to do this to you. But you can't leave. Not yet. There is so much yet for you to witness. Will you see it? Can you? Our Lord, the Wall Rider, tearing his truth into the unbelievers. The only way out of this place is the truth. Accept the gospel, and all doors will open before you.
Oh, that loading screen just reminded me. The loading screens aren't cut out in this game. I didn't want to accidentally edit it and then cut out a part of it, because then it'd look like I'd be cheating. And I don't know the time. I don't know how much time was spent in loading screens. It might have shaved. It might shave off maybe like 2 minutes. So it might be like 57 minutes. But yeah, I don't, because I've never, the PC version of the game loads faster than the console version. And even if you're playing like a simple run, I just jump around here. Apparently, if you're playing like a simple run on console, like even if you do, the game will still save, or it will load in things that aren't there yet, which I think is annoying. And I know when all the saves are. There's saves in between chapters. So like there's the one between administration and prison. There's, I got tripped up on that chair there. I lost probably a second. There's one by the sewers, when you go to the mail ward going up the stairs. Or there's one in the sewers when you're coming out of the tunnel for the first time. There's one in the sewers again when you go to the mail ward. There's one about when you leave from the courtyard. There isn't one when you enter the female ward, but there's one where you, when you leave the female ward. Now I think, if I remember this correctly, this might have been my best run of this section, because this strategy always gets me screwed up, but I think I might have actually been able to do that. That wasn't supposed to happen. This guy, he got tripped up and I was able to dodge past him, which I thought was great. I'm also recording this the day after I did this, because my PlayStation decided to be stupid, and who knows if this will even upload itself. Now, there'll be a strategy coming up that I'm going to talk about, but I am going to explain why I didn't do it and why I don't think it can be done on console. It's in the showers, and I'll explain it when it gets to that. But overall, there wasn't a lot of like frame rate stuff or anything like that. This was a smooth run, you know. I kept my time, stuff like that. It's here. So the strategy for it that I've seen is to jump out the window that's not with this like curtain in it. Strafe over to the side and then enter back into the showers into the window with the curtain. Every time I've done that on console, I've gotten stabbed in the back from the guys, because it doesn't give you enough time to... They don't walk fast enough to give you enough time to actually, like, do it. And you can't even jump either. Like, you can't do a hop, you can't do it, like, anything like that. They'll just kill you. So that's why I don't think it can be done on console. I don't know if there's something for PC where it's, like, loaded more, or that, like, the enemies are a little bit faster. Another thing with the console that I've only seen on console is the battery life. The battery life will drain like crazy. Like, there'll be specific runs where I'm using the battery life the time that I'm supposed to use the battery life, and the battery will get sucked down like it's insane mode. Like, it's crazy. Now, I did improve myself on this part of the run. I used to do it where I used to vault over here, and then I used to vault like a little bit more towards away from Chris, because, you know, I didn't want to die. But that means that Miles would use both hands, and the camera would be turned off, and I wouldn't see where I was. You could see a little bit of stagger running right there. But yeah, Miles would turn the camera off, which means that I'd be running into the wall, and I was afraid that Chris was going to grab me, so I just ended up... I don't know if it sacrifices seconds or makes it faster, but yeah. Also, if you've never seen Outlast, if you're just like a subscriber, if you've never seen or someone play Outlast, definitely go watch someone play Outlast. Like, you're missing a lot of the story if you watch this run, because I'm not in it for the story. I'm just in it for the speed of the game. I actually think I was behind at this point from my regular runs, because my regular runs I would have completed administration a lot faster than normal, but I think I might have been 9 seconds behind, and then maybe this one I think I probably was like 0.9 seconds behind. The only reason that I was able to get a better speed was because a lot of my other runs I ended up like the run that I had done before I recorded, I think I had died a couple times, or like I had did something, or I didn't do a strategy that I did this time, which sped up my time, which was Courtyard. I sped up Courtyard a lot because I did more jumping like stuff from you know, from the thing. So, yeah, Courtyard got sped up, and that means Female Ward got sped up a little bit. Female Ward also got sped up because in the last run that I did, where I improved my personal best, I forgot to hit the button on the laundry chute, which didn't let the key go down. No, I never seem to get this Chris Walker like dodge correctly, but because it always kind of like draws me backwards and wastes like a couple seconds, and I'm always afraid I'm gonna die there. But I think the trick with Chris Walker, and I believe that this is how they designed the game, was that they made his they made the music and his sounds feel like he was right behind you, even though Chris Walker just slow walks. If you keep running, as long as you don't like bump into things or turn around, he will never catch you. It just depends on how far away you are from him. I used to be terrible at the sewers because I recently had got all the trophies for this game, and I had to do insane on this one. This took me like 17 runs to do insane. Not a speed run, but like a different like method of playing the game. Like you know, so. And again, there's a lot of strategies that I'm not comfortable with. And there's a lot of strategies I know. So. I don't know why it seemed that it slowed down. There was also a really weird glitch in Return to Administration, which, when we get there, I'll explain what happened. I don't know how. I didn't cause it, but it happened. I don't know if that's like a penalty on the thing, but like again, I don't know like the rules of it. So, but that was a game glitch. Also, there was another glitch the last time that I did this in the female war towards the end, where you have to make that final big jump. Well, I had made the final big jump and I had gone right through Father Martin. I never even knew that he'd stand there. I also never knew that you could just hop off the ladders when you were close enough to the ground. I always thought you had to use the whole way down. It saves like 3 seconds. Here I am trying to navigate in the dark. You're not pretty much going to see anything for a good chunk of this. A good chunk of this I didn't use my camera for, because if I stuck to the wall here and like kind of looked it down, I could tell where I was. So if I stuck, so this curve right here, if I stuck to the wall until there was no more wall and then just went right, then I'd be going into the right tunnel. Because I'd always used to get mixed up, because I didn't want to use my camera because my battery would drain, but I didn't want to like go to the left accidentally and then have to walk all the way back. Also, I don't know what I was trying to do here. I think I was on cocaine. I was probably trying to do some jumping stuff, but my battery was also dying, so I got stuck on a lot of things. And then he wouldn't go, and then I did that. Again, I was trying to like refill my battery before I did the whole Chris Walker thing. Also, I refilled my battery in this section, which if it wouldn't have done what it did, I feel like I would have died. I also used to be scared of that section, but now I'm not, because it's not scary anymore, because I just have to jump, like, straight. Now this guy, again, that's me. Anytime I look down, it's like me, like, trying not to stagger and run, but, like, this guy, I just usually do that. I mean, I know there's a better way to get past him, because I think if he hits you once, you're able... I got stuck on the wall there. I think if he hits you once, he'll run back. But I don't know. I have no idea. If you're in the enemy's ways, like if they have weapons, then they'll kill you. So like that's the reason why he chases after. He's not chasing after you per se, but if you stop, he'll kill you because you'll be in his way. The same thing happens in Whistleblower. Like when there'll be a couple guys coming out of the gates in like the little yard. If you get in their way, they'll hit you and they won't kill you if you're on like a normal, but on insane they'll kill you. Another loading screen. Again, I have no idea how many of that is. Also, there's gonna be a giant Dr. Trigger cutscene, so I'm probably just not gonna talk for that part because yeah. Another funny story was I had a glitch happen here where one of the doors didn't open, like because I didn't finish the pushing animation. The door was uncovered, but Miles didn't finish the pushing animation, so the door didn't open. And it was during the chase scene. Like, it'd be better if it was, like, right here, but it was during the chase scene and I almost got killed. That wasn't in the last run. That was in a couple runs before that. And I always get tripped up in these hallways. I think I'm about... Yep, I screwed up that bed jump. And that bed jump, which probably lost me about 5 seconds. Now here's the chase, and the chase is a very big stagger running thing that I do. I also couldn't open the door. Miles will do a stagger run a lot in this scene in particular. Like, after this door push, like, he'll start doing that. Which will be a... which is a dumb thing, but it happens. It happens around here. Like, if you can kind of see. You can kind of see me slowing down, but I'm not intentionally doing that.
You slippery little whore!
I also try not to mess up that jump, because in this run I messed up a jump in the underground lab, and it wasted me about 10 seconds because I had to load back into the game. But yeah. I've never done this flawlessly, but you can do that. To stop them from killing you, you can jump into the room, then back into by the door, then close the door while, because it takes a while for the dumbwaiter to get down. All right, this is the Traeger cutscene, so I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
Hey, you're that bullshit priest's guy, aren't you? His witness or whatever. You must be exhausted. Let's take a break, huh, buddy? The old 2-martini lunch? Have a little confab, blah, blah. Heavier than you look. A little cardio wouldn't kill you. Okay, here we go, arms and legs inside the car at all times. You know, I love the mountain air up here at night. You want to head out and take a stroll? Go ahead, I'll wait here. Go on, run free. I'm in no hurry. No? All right. Nose to the grindstone, I like that. Okay then, right this way. Ripping that tongue to any use anyway. Truth be told, I was just tired of licking my own stance. Here we are then. Thanks so much for coming by. We'll begin your consultation in a moment. We'll just need a second to wash up and, oh, movies. And it'll give us a chance to talk. You know, I'm a bit worried how much time you've been spending with Father Martin. I hope you haven't been letting him confuse you with all his holier-than-thou Bible thumping. No offense to the man, but I sometimes worry he might just be a little bit crazy. It's understandable when people get scared. There's like to turn to God as anything else. And God died with the gold standard. We're on to a more concrete faith now. You have to rob Paul to pay Peter. There's no other way. Murder is the simplest form, but what happens when all money's gone? Well, money becomes a matter of faith. And that's what I'm here for. To make you believe. You paying attention? Don't pass out on me. There's a lot for you to absorb. better, right? You understand how we achieved here? We made the consumer into the means of production. This thing is gonna sell itself.
So yeah, you get your fingers chopped off. It's a whole ordeal. This is also a lot of strategies with the mail ward that I wasn't really familiar with, that I used to do differently, but it wasted a bunch of time. So now I do them differently. So again, I'm just gonna explain for people who want to know. So I'm just waiting by this door because Dr. Streger's gonna come through the door. And he's not going to bust down the door, but he's going to be far enough away from the right where I can just run around him. And I'm just jumping.
He's still alive. So to Wernicke's nightmares. He worked so well. They couldn't control it. And you can't control it. Nobody. He'll find you. He'll kill you. Let me sell you the grenade.
So he'll like do a little animation which stops him from immediately attacking us. Now I'm gonna push this out of the way, or I did push this out of the way just so I could prep for the third part. Last time I did this, Trigger came out really early, and I couldn't jump past him. Or I'm just dumb and didn't jump past him in time. Well, we gotta lock him in this room. What I used to do is I used to run all the way around and lead him into that room, and then run all the way around, and yeah. It wasted a lot of time, so I saved a lot of time with the new strategy. Now here's another one I'm not all too familiar with, but I think I did nonetheless. I cannot remember if I was able to do it successfully, but yeah. But you gotta kind of wait for him to come into the room and then jump past him. The strategies involve a lot of like jumping. I did, haha, yes, I remember. I always debate closing that door, and I'm just like, nah, no, I never have to close that door. If I keep running, Trigger's not gonna catch me.
I'm not giving up on you.
I think that was probably the best mail ward experience I've ever had. Like, the best Dr. Trigger stuff I've ever experienced. So now we're going downstairs, and we're going into one of my least favorite portions of the game. I hate the next encounter. I also tried to do something really stupid there. I thought I could jump over the railing, but I didn't, and I lost like 2 seconds, which sucked, but like a second or so.
Thank God you survived. I feared that second.
Now again, I'm trying to conserve my battery life, so you might not see a lot of where I'm like opening and closing doors, but they're there, trust me. Also this jump. I couldn't get up on the table. That took me forever. I used to be really good at this part, like jumping around, but then I didn't. Then I wasn't good at it. I could be so much faster if I practiced it a little bit. Then you gotta kind of jump out of the hallway. Here we go. This is the worst one, I believe, in the game. I hate this encounter so much. the sprinkler ones with Chris Walker. Like, the first part isn't bad. It's just getting to the button to push is bad, and I've started to get better at it, but you know. Also, Chris wasn't in the right spot for me to do the strategy. Usually you could just jump over Chris, but yeah, he wasn't there. And I didn't want to take the chance of running over him because I couldn't see, so I just ran around. Now, I'm surprised that Chris did not try to grab me, because he always tries to grab me in different things. Now, what did I do? I think I did my older strategy, but I put a twist on it. The strategy that's recommended is to get him caught and then jump over him, and then, you know, stuff like that. But what I did was I led him, did a roundabout, hit the button, and then... I'm so glad, because he always seems to grab me in that part. But I think I was far enough away from him where he couldn't, like, catch me. Also, I think I lifted over the table. I have no idea how I did that, but... there was a weird thing that was, like, there. Like, there was a weird bug. Again, another long loading screen. Alright, this is the courtyard split, and this is the courtyard section. This is where my time started to pick up a little bit more, and I was able to actually... because I knew the exact part of where my time was going to pick up, because I knew that I had some new methods that I've never done before, and that I'd be able to improve my time with them, so... I just had to get past the first 4 chapters and do this. Alas, I didn't dodge the wall ladder. I should have jumped at the last minute, but I jumped too early, so... It's a little bug right there that you can just walk over that gap. Now, what they want you to do is they want you to do an extra part of that, but I didn't do that. And sometimes they want you to, like, strafe over this ledge, which I wasn't really, like, cool with, so I didn't. And then I jumped here, and I made this jump. I'm so happy I made this jump, because that was... I've never, like, successfully made that jump all the way where it was, like, a good thing to do. Now, there's another loading screen coming out. There's a lot of loading screens in Courtyard, for some reason. Because they haven't loaded in all the stuff. Now, my old method was to just stick to the wall and Chris would never see me, but but he's in the water, so you can just go on the bridge and run around him. It's so easy to do that. I don't know why, but the sound, like, plays twice. I have no idea why. Now, another thing that I did was I did a new strategy where I had to have Chris hit me, because a lot of the time I would get pulled out of the hole, and I'd have to do this little gazebo trick where I'd run around the gazebo, and Chris wouldn't catch up, but, you know, this time Chris will kind of stand there, and he won't do anything. So you want him to hit you, and then you can just go. I was so scared, but I made it through. And female word split. Yep, so that was my personal best on Courtyard, and I hope to improve it a little bit later, sometime. Next time I run this game, which I'll probably run this game another time, because This game is a good game to run. When I get all the strategies down, I think I'll be okay at it. Now, there's a strategy to do this like big fight, or this big part of the game, but I never do it because I got tripped up on that wall. I just don't, feel comfortable with it, so I did my own strategy with this. I led him into this room, and then I kept him in this area for a while. He didn't even see me, which was even better because, he was just in that room. So the original strategy that I had was trap him in that room, then run and get these two fuses, but then like hide in one room and let him trail away. Well, I don't have time for that, so I decided to do something a little bit different, a little stupid, but I've made my own thing, and it wastes time, and if I knew the other strategy, I'd certainly do it. But alas, right here I didn't know it, so I just did a thing. So by the time I trail back to this room, he's gonna be coming through the like doors. And again, I had showed my friend this, so I did this with my friend, and I knew this worked. So I just waited here for him. And then when he came into the door, I tried to get around him, and I ended up getting around him, which was good. I moved too soon, I think. And I closed that door so that he'd bust through it and waste time and then allow me to go, because I never have to come up here again. Now again, I knew that the female ward was going to be a better my better personal best one, because I didn't forget to hit the button on the laundry thing this time. I had gotten down to this room and I was like, oh, I didn't hit the button, and yeah, and I had to run all the way back up, hit the button, run all the way back down, get the key, run all the way back up, use the key. So it was a giant time loss, and yeah, I don't know if I made up for it. I think I did, because there was other parts that I like made up for. Also grabbed a battery here. I hope not to do that in the future, but I was just doing it just in case. Usually there's a guy there. I have no idea where he went. For the life of me, I have no idea how to get past that. You can't really get past it, but Miles does this little like falling animation thing where he like lands on the ground and like looks down, and I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't even know if you can get rid of it. And I went the wrong way here. I hope to improve that as well. Now it's just following the wall rider wherever he may go. I was super close to those guys that time. So this is the part where you lose your camera. Hi, camera. So yeah, this was just a running around in the darkness thing, which wasn't really hard. My friends always ask me, do you get scared of this game? And I'm like, no, not really, not anymore. I know what's going to happen, I know what to do, don't really get scared. Unless something unexpected happens. Like I screw up a strategy or something. This is the jump that I thought that Father Martin was like gone at. There's the return to administration split. So, almost done with this. Another loading screen. Chris Walker encounter. I was just spamming square at that point because, got tripped up on that door too. That right there, no idea. That happened in game. That's not that's not an editing trick. That's nothing. That happened in game. I don't know if that was like a lag thing. Also, I can never really get over that my first try either.
Exit interview recorded December 27th, 1985. Yes, the autopsies revealed that the tumor swept your neck. It killed them? Can you explain why the results could not be reproduced in the United States? I have my theories. My homeland in those years. It's impossible to understand.
I'm kind of happy about how the time worked out. Like, it's not the best time, but I mean, I've only done this a couple times, so it's pretty good. The video is actually like almost an hour long, like almost exactly an hour long, which I think is great. But it's actually, if you cut off like 20 seconds, it's, you know, or 10 or 20. I don't know. You you then have the time, and then if you take off like 2 seconds in the beginning from when I had started the timer, because I had started the video about 2 seconds before I even moved, so I was so down there. I could never find this room, but now I know exactly where it is, and I'm so happy. Also, one time I got tripped up in these hallways. This is the Father Martin cutscene. A lot of in-game, unskippable conversations that you're stuck here.
We will join the Wall Rider in just a moment. My Job, you alone shall escape the tower. This is your penultimate act of witness. The promise of the prophets was always freedom from death. And here it is. You will watch and behold my resurrection. And together
There's a little dig for you.
fix the elevator. It will take you to freedom. We will all of us. Now, my son.
Okay, so now I'm outie of admin, but I've got another Chris Walker encounter, and I think I got the dodge. I don't know if I got the dodge. I'll have to see. I believe I got the dodge. Yeah, after like backing up a few seconds, so I wasted a lot of time. So yeah, there we go. Now we're getting down to the meat and potatoes. Of the entire game. The basement. Okay. So yeah, this is the underground part and the loading screen again.
plane. I know. I know. I am supposed to be dead.
So this is pretty much the end, so I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna end my commentary. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the run.
Because of Billy. He takes care of me. He may think I'm his father. He certainly loves me, the poor idiot. Do you know what this symbol represents? It warns of a nanohazard. Microscopic machines. Technology we have had for decades but never mastered. Kirkhoff discovered my research workaround. Turning cells in the human body into nanofactories. It's the natural function of cells to produce molecules, but through psychosomatic direction, we engineered the precise molecules necessary. Mind over body. It was foolish and wrong to think we could control it. To use madmen to make something so strong. You have to stop him to murder Billy. Turn off his life support, his anesthesia. You have to undo what I've done. No one can get out of this place while he lives. You must kill him.